Hello, my name is Nathan Horn. I am in the 8th grade at Chillicothe Junior High. This is my 4th year in speech, and I will be performing Hero Turkey Friend, That's My Dad, by Peg Carrot. When I was young, I thought my dad could do anything. I thought he was the strongest, the smartest, and the richest. Now, I had a good reason for these beliefs. I mean, he must be the strongest. He could lift me high above his head, and he could chop wood with an axe so heavy, I couldn't even lift it. And as for brains, my dad knew everything. He answered questions like, where do the clouds go at night? And what happens to the sun on a rainy day? In the woods, he knew which tracks were deer and which ones were turkey. And if my dad ever worried about how he was going to pay the electric bill, I didn't know it. All I knew was that when we went to the grocery store, Dad always had a quarter in his pocket for the horsey ride. Always. I would just grin up at him, he would smile down at me, and I knew that meant that I could climb up on the black and white horse. He would slip the quarter in and start the engine. While I rode the horsey ride, I was a cowboy herding cattle, or I was a sheriff chasing a bank robber. I was a prince rescuing a child from danger. But by the time I outgrew the horsey ride, I realized that my dad wasn't the smartest. The first time I asked for help on a homework assignment and Dad didn't know the answer, it was a shock. He took me to the library and we, get this, looked up the answer. My teacher knew the capital of Ireland, but Dad, he must have sensed my disenchantment, because on the way home, he told me that no person can know everything, and that the key to knowledge is knowing where to find that knowledge. He said that a library is one of the most valuable tools that a person can have. At the time, I just thought he was making an excuse because he didn't know the capital of Ireland. So, now that I knew that my dad wasn't the smartest, I soon found out that he was not the strongest. One night, while we were watching Monday Night Football, I asked my dad if he ever played football. And he said that he tried out in high school, but get this, he didn't make the team. And then he went on to say that football was too aggressive for him and that he liked golf and swimming better. Now, I could accept that my dad liked golf and swimming better than football, but I could not accept that my dad didn't make the team. So, now that I knew that my dad wasn't the strongest or the smartest, it soon came to pass that I found out he wasn't the richest. When Stevie Lower, our next door neighbor, got a European racing bike for his 8th birthday, I immediately launched a campaign to get a racing bike just like his. We can't afford it, plain and simple, my dad told me. And even if we could afford it, no 8-year-old kid in the world needs a bike like that. And I cried and I pleaded, but the matter was settled. The hero was gone, the orb had arrived. I began to notice things about my dad that I hated all of a sudden. Things like how he would wear socks with sandals when the style was for flip-flops, or how he would talk to strangers. Oh, it would drive me crazy. We'd be standing in line at the grocery store, and instead of looking out the window or flipping through magazines like a normal person, no, he would just turn around and promptly talk to the person behind us in line. And they wouldn't talk about normal things like football and baseball. No, they would talk about whether or not the president was going to veto something that Congress had passed. It was embarrassing. It got so bad, I didn't want to be seen in public with the man. But as I grew older, my feelings for my dad changed one more time. I soon learned that my dad took me to let me ride the horsey ride so I could make imaginings. And then he took me to the library so that I could learn how to make my imaginings come true. From watching my dad, I learned that you can learn something new from every person you meet. and that you can appreciate the important things in life and not covet the unimportant. From watching him, I learned that it's amazing to play the game, and it's amazing to cheer from the stands. My dad started as my hero, was demoted to the role of turkey, and gradually became my friend. In some ways, you can say we've made a full circle. In other ways, you can say that he's still my friend and will always